Good morning students, welcome back to my channel. So today is my 22nd lecture on electrostatic, and in today's lecture I am not going to discuss any new topic. We will just have the revision of the previous lecture, and in today's topic we will just solve the numerical based on these formulas. So before watching this video, please go through the previous video, only then you will understand all the numerical concepts. So just let's have a quick revision for all the topics. Now see, in our earlier class we have studied about electric potential. So the first point here is electric potential. Remember the potential. Potential is simply defined as work done per unit charge in an electric field. So V is defined as W by Q, and from this formula you can also state about the unit. So the unit of this potential can be given as joule per coulomb from this formula, and its SI unit is simply given as volt. It is a scalar quantity. So let's move to the second. Electric potential due to point charge. We are having a single charge and we find to potential. So that is V equals to K Q by R. K is the same 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. Q is the charge and R is the distance, which means our potential is inversely related to distance. If you plot a graph between R and V, then you will got a decreasing graph. As the distance increases, potential decreases. Thereafter, we find the electric potential due to dipole. Just remember the word dipole. Dipole means two equal and opposite charges. So because of this dipole, at any point we have find the potential was Kp upon R square cos theta. This P is the dipole moment. So this formula stands for the potential at any point. Now, if I talk specifically at the axial point, your theta becomes 0. So when theta equal to 0, cos 0 is 1. So the formula is Kp by R square. So this is at axial point. If we talk about equatorial point, at equatorial theta is 90. So cos 90 is 0. So V equatorial is always 0. So you just keep this in mind. It is very important concept that at equatorial point of dipole, potential is always 0. So let's move forward. Further than we talked about work done on dipole. You can also remember this energy stored in a dipole. So whenever we rotate some dipole in the field, energy is stored, or we can say that we have to do some amount of work. So that work will be PE. P stands for dipole moment, E stands for electric field. Cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. So theta 1 and theta 2 are the angle by which you are rotating your dipole from initial to final condition. Then after, potential energy for a system of charges, or you can also say the work done for a system of charges. Suppose to find the net work done, we need to find the work done by individual charges. So this is W1, W2, W3 and so on. These are the work done by individual charges, and adding all we will get the total work done, and the amount of total work done is equal to total potential energy of the system. If you remember, the work done was K, first charge, second charge upon distance between them. Similarly for second, similarly for third, and if any more charges are there. So by adding all them, you can give the total potential energy of the system. So here next come is the relation between electric field and electric potential. Electric field is given as E and potential is given as V. So the relation is E equals to minus dV by dr. This term is only known as potential gradient. So many times you will encounter this term, potential gradient. So potential upon distance, and because of this the SI unit of electric field is also sometimes written as volt per meter. Because of this V by R, it is given as volt per meter. So some rearranging, dV will be minus of EdR. So on integrating both the side, this dV will become V. So the total potential is minus integration of E dot dr, because the dot product of two vector is itself a scalar, and as I told you, this is a scalar quantity. So next is electric potential due to charge conducting sphere. Just remember, in our previous lecture we have solved of charge conducting sphere, we have to take 3 points for this: outside the sphere, on the sphere, and inside the sphere. So outside the sphere is kq by r, on the sphere it is kq by capital R, that is the radius of the sphere, and inside the conducting body your potential remain constant and it is always equal to surface. What is the potential on the surface will be same as the potential inside the sphere. Then after, our last topic was equipotential surface. As the name suggests, equipotential surface means those surfaces where potential remain same. So where potential is same everywhere, such surfaces are called equipotential surface. So potential difference is zero on them. So the amount of work done on equipotential surface is always zero. Second one, electric field lines are always perpendicular to the surfaces and equipotential surface never interact each other. All this point I have discussed in my previous lecture with a suitable reason also. So just go to that lecture. I will give the link of that lecture in the description box. So go through it. So let's move forward. Now we are going to solve the numericals based on this formula. Look at the first question. What will be the work done? So they are asking what will be the work done in moving a charge, small charge, in a circular path around a charge capital Q. Now suppose this is a charge capital Q and this is a circular path around this. Now on this circular path I have to move a small charge. So this is my small charge Q. I have to move this charge from A to point B. Now remember, just see this circular path, it will behave as equipotential surface. So on moving a charge from A to B, our work done, just remember, work done was given as charge into potential difference. So the charge which we are moving is Q, here Q is only mentioned, into potential difference. See, both are at the same potential, so potential difference is zero. So work done is zero. Just it is a point included in my equipotential topic also. On equipotential surface, potential is same everywhere. So potential difference is zero, and where potential difference is zero, amount of work done is also zero. So let's move to the next. See, this second and third question are very much similar but contrary to each other. In second, I have to find a point where electric field is zero but potential is not zero. So just remember, inside a charged conductor, if you remember that inside a conductor we know that charge is zero, and because of this charge electric field is zero, but inside this conduction potential is always constant. This potential is equal to the potential on the surface. So a point where electric field is zero but potential is not zero, that example is inside a conductor. Now third one is a point where this time electric field is not zero but potential is zero. So remember, on the equatorial line of dipole, so if a dipole is given to us, then on this equatorial line of dipole your electric field is given as kp by r cube, but on this line at any point your potential is always zero. So on the equatorial line of dipole electric field is given but potential is always equal to zero. Moving forward, our next question is 1000 small water drops, they all of radius small r and each drop having a charge small q. Total drops 1000, radius of each drop r and the charge on each drop small q. All the drop combine to form a big drop. So what is the potential of that big drop? Now see, we are going to use a small mathematical concept. If we can say that volume of big drop will be equals to 1000 into volume of each small drop. So how many drops are there? 1000 drop. If I combine all their volume, it will be the volume of big drop. Now see, all the drops are spherical in shape and the volume of sphere is 4 upon 3 pi capital R cube. I am using this capital R for big drop. So 1000 times of 4 upon 3 pi, and for the small drop we are using small r. So on simplifying you will get capital R cube is 1000 times of small r cube. So on taking the cube root, your capital R equals to 10 times of small r. Now see, what is the charge on each drop? On each drop the charge is this. So total charge on big drop. So total charge Q. 1000 times the charge on each drop is Q, and the total drop is 1000. So multiplying this will give you the total charge. So this is the total charge, this is the total radius. So finally the potential of big drop. So remember the formula of potential, that is V equals to K into total charge upon radius. Now instead of this capital Q I can write 1000 times of small q, and instead of capital R I can write 100 times of small r. So on simplifying it we will get 100 times of K Q by small r. If you remember this KQ by small r, so this is the potential of small drop and this one is the potential of big drop. So big drop is 100 times the potential of small drop. This we have to find a relation between both of them. So let's move forward. Again, two charges, 3 into 10 to the power minus 8 coulomb, and second one is minus 2 into 10 to the power minus 8 coulomb. Both the charges are separated by 15 centimeter distance between them. Now I have to find at what point on the line joining the two charges is the potential 0. Now suppose these are the two charges. Your first charge is 3 into 10 to the power minus 8 coulomb, and your second charge is minus 2 into 10 to the power minus 8 coulomb. And this is the line joining the two charges. So this such that distance between them is 15 centimeter. Now I have to find a point on this line where the potential is 0. So let's consider this is the point C at a distance of x from A. So it will be at a distance of 15 minus x from B. So very simple concept. Potential at C due to A. Now first of all I am going to find the potential at the point C, but first due to this A charge. So the formula is K into charge upon distance, and distance here is x. Similarly the potential at C due to B, that is K, but this time I have to take minus because it is negative charge. So minus 2 into 10 to the power minus 8 upon 15 minus x. Now so our net potential will be given, because potential is a scalar quantity, so we will just add this two, and as per the question net potential should be 0. So substituting it 0, and it is K times of 3 into 10 to the power minus 8 by x. Here it is minus K times of 2 into 10 to the power minus 8 upon 15 minus x. So we just simplify this two factor. So you will get here 2 upon 15 minus x is equals to 3 upon x. So just simplify this two and you will get your value of x equals to, so it's 2x is equals to 45 minus 3x. So your 5x equals to 45. So finally the value of x equals to 9 centimeter. So the point where the potential is 0 is 9 centimeter from A. This is the answer. Move to the next question. We have to find electric field at a point due to a charge. It is given 24 Newton per coulomb. This is electric field, and electric potential at that same point is given as 12 joule per coulomb. It is the unit of voltage and it is the unit of electric field. Both are given. I have to find the distance of that point from the charge and also the magnitude of the charge. Now suppose what is given, this is a charge Q and suppose this is your point A at a distance of R. Now at this point the value of electric field is 24 and the value of potential is 12. Both these two quantities are given. I have to find the value of R and the value of this charge. Now remember, we know that electric field, it is given as KQ by R square and potential is given as KQ by R. So on simplifying this to E upon V equals to 1 by R. So the value of electric field, it is 24 upon 12 is equals to 1 by R. So your R equals to 0.5 meter. So this is the distance of charge. Secondly, I have to find the charge also. So just substitute this value of R in any of these two equations. Suppose I am using V equals to KQ by R. Potential is 12. The value of K was 9 into 10 to the power 9. The value of charge I have to find and my distance is 0.5. So on simplifying this, you will get your charge Q equal. So it will be something about 0.66 10 raised to power minus 9 Coulomb. So this is the magnitude of charge and this is the distance. So let's move to the next question. If the potential is given by the equation, the expression for the potential is given 10x square plus 5y square minus 3z square and the point is given as 1, 2, 3. Now at this point the potential is given by this equation. What we have to find is the electric field at this point. Potential is given, point is given and electric field we have to find. Remember the relation, electric field was given as minus del V by del R. But in this case of R, we will use X, Y and Z because three coordinates are given. So electric field in X direction will be minus del V by del X. So all I have to do is to differentiate the potential with respect to X, but I will perform a partial differentiation. Just remember the term. So just keep the equation of this potential, that is 10x square plus 5y square minus 3 times of z square. See, on differentiating it, you know that we are differentiating with respect to x, which means y and z, they will remain constant. I have to only differentiate those quantity which containing x. So on differentiating this 10x square, so using the formula, it will be minus 20 times of x, and this all y and z, they will remain 0 and 0. So the answer, it is minus 20 x, but remember we have to find at the coordinate 1, 2, 3 x, y, z, means our x is 1. So my x is 1, so my minus is minus 20 Newton per Coulomb, the unit of electric field. So in x direction it is minus 20 Newton per Coulomb. Similarly, I will solve it for y and I will solve it for z. So for y it will be minus ka dv upon dy. So it will be minus 10x square plus 5y square minus 3z square. So let me just solve it directly. So you will get minus 10 of y. So you will simply get minus 10 times, and the coordinate for the y is 2. So your answer is again minus 20 Newton per Coulomb, and for the z is minus del v by del z. So on this time you will get minus of 6z. So minus and minus plus 6 of z, and the z is 3. So 6, 3, 18. So your answer is 18 Newton per Coulomb. So this is electric field in x direction, this is electric field in y direction, and this is electric field in z direction. So let's move to the next question. This question is just opposite to the above one. In the above question, potential was given and electric field was to be find out. And in this question, electric field in a particular region is given by this equation, and write an expression for the potential. Means field is given and we have to find potential. So if you remember, electric field is minus dV by dr. So our potential dV will be minus of E dr. So for the total potential V, we use a concept of minus integration E dr. So this is the value, this is the formula which we have to use to find the potential. Now, so potential V equals to minus integration. Electric field is A by x cube. Now see, we are integrating, here the variable is x. So we have to integrate with respect to x only. So taking our constant quantity outside and moving this x cube up in the numerator, it will get x to the power minus 3 dx. So just simply use the formula. So on integrating it, x to the power minus 3 plus 1 upon minus 3 plus 1. So you will get your potential V equals to minus A. It will be x to the power minus 2 and here it will be minus 2. So on further simplifying, V equals to A by 2x square. This is the value of potential. Move to our next question. We have to find the amount of work done in arranging all the three charges, and these three charges are kept on the vertices of an equilateral triangle, and the side of the equilateral triangle is 10 centimeter. So to construct this figure, how much energy is required or how much total amount of work is done. So it can also be given to find the work done, or they can also give us to find the total energy required. So see, work done to bring the charge. Now all these three are not brought at the same time. Suppose this is the first charge which is brought in the system, this is the second charge, and this is the third charge. No, when the first charge is brought, so work done by the first charge is 0. No work is done by this first charge. So work done by the second charge, this is the second charge, and it has to do the work against this first charge. Only they two will perform the work done. So K, charge at A, charge at B upon distance. Now here comes the third one. So it will have to perform the work against first also and against second also. So two work done will be there. So that is K, QA, QC upon R plus K times of QB, QC upon R. So this will be the total work done by third. So in order to find the total work done of the system, that is net work done, so we add all these two quantities, three quantities, that is Q, so on further simplifying, you just have to substitute the value and you will get the answer, total work done. So I had just taken the common, all the K is common, distance is common, charge into charge, that is 6, 6, 36, 10 to the power minus 12 was common. So the uncommon was taken, remain in the bracket. So on solving this, you will get minus 3.24 joule. So this is the total work done for arranging these three charges. So move to the next one. Two identical particles, each having a charge of this much, and the mass is given 10 gram. Distance between them is 10 centimeter. What would be the speed of the particle when they are released? So these are the supposed two charges. The charge is 2 into 10 to the power minus 4, 2 into 10 to the power minus 4, and the distance between both the charges 10 centimeter. When these two charges are released, they will move away with some velocity. I have to find the speed of those particles. So see, in order to keep these two charges here, we have to do some work. So the work done or the energy stored in the system is right now K, first charge, second charge upon distance. This is the total potential energy which is stored in this system right now. Now as I release these two charges, the potential energy will convert into kinetic energy, and because of the kinetic energy, they too will get some velocity. So the kinetic energy of the first plus kinetic energy of the second, adding these two kinetic energy will be equal to total potential energy. So the first kinetic energy is half mv square and the second one is also half mv square because they both are having same mass. So you will just simplify it. We have all the quantity except velocity. So on taking a common, you will get your v square is something equals to, so your v square will be equals to k q1 q2 by r times of m. So just substitute the value of k, that is 9 into 10 to the power 9. The charge both are 2 into 10 to the power minus 4, again 2 into 10 to the power minus 4. Distance between them is 10 centimeter. Convert it in the meter, 10 to the power minus 2, and the mass is given here 10 gram. So instead of gram we use kg. So again we convert it in the kg. So on simplifying this, you will get your velocity. It will be something about 600 meter per second. So this will be the velocity of the two particles. Let's move to the next question. So a dipole is given and the dipole moment, that is small p. Dipole moment is 4 into 10 to the power minus 9 coulomb meter. It is not centimeter, coulomb meter. SI unit of dipole moment. We have to find the potential, and potential at a distance of 0.3 meter from the center of the dipole. And this time for the case number first, the point is on the axial line. Just try to remember, dipole is given, distance is given from the center, and we have to find at axial point. So if you remember, potential at axial point of dipole, it was k p by r square. Everything is given to us. K is 9 into 10 to the power 9. Dipole moment is 4 into 10 to the power minus 9. And the distance between from the center is 0.3 meter only. So 0.3 is square. So on simplifying this, you will get your potential at axial is 400 volt. This is simply at axial point. So if we talk about equatorial, we don't have to solve anything. Just remember, this is a dipole. And at the equatorial point of dipole, your potential is always 0. So don't mug up. Just try to remember that the equatorial point dipole is 0. So you'll get your answer directly. So your third one is making an angle 60 degree with the dipole, yani any general point. So for any general point, our formula was kp by r square into cos theta. So we know that k is 9 into 10 to the power 9. Your dipole moment is again 4 into 10 to the power minus 9. Distance is 0.3 square of distance, and here the angle is cos 60. So cos 60 is 1 by 2. So you will simply get this is 400 into cos 60 is half. So your answer will be 200 volt. So this is at general point, this is at equatorial point, and this is at axial point. So let's move to the next numerical. A dipole and a dipole moment P. The value of dipole moment is 3.2 10 to the power minus 10 coulomb meter. Dipole moment is given. It is making an angle of 60 degree with the electric field, and the torque acting on the dipole is 4√3 Newton meter. So what I have to find is the potential energy in the dipole, that is U. Remember, potential energy was given as minus of Pe cos theta. Only one angle is given, so minus Pe cos theta. So P is given, but remember electric field is not given. So first of all, we have to find here electric field also. So remember that we know torque equals to Pe sin theta. By using this formula, we will find your electric field. So this is your P, and instead of electric field I am using here tau, and the value of remaining one. Substitute this value of E here, it will be tau, and tau by P sin theta into cos theta. So it will become easier for you to solve, cancelling P to P. So minus torque is 4√3 upon sin 60 into cos 60. So just simplify this expression and you will get your total energy. It is equals to something about minus of 4 joule. So this is the answer. So this was my last numerical. Just you can download all these numericals from the PDF given in the description box and just solve all this numerical by your own hand only. Thank you.